Hello, this is SJ Talks and Light coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe, please, and thank you. Um, Check out my videos where I'm talking about um, black, black, I'm going to try to link them up, black femicide, and the video where I'm talking about anti-crime bill being passed. I'm gonna try to link those videos up in the description box. Them passing a crime bill, anti hate. That's what I said. An anti-hate bill being passed for black women because of the black femicide rate going through the roof. And I want to talk about. I'm going to be doing more videos advocating for black women. I'm going to advocate for my sisters. I'm a sister. I'm a sister. So, and I know lots and lots of sisters. Sisters in my family. Sisters all over the world. I'm going to advocate for. I'm going to start advocating for. I care about what happens to all women. Because, from a spiritual perspective, we're all brothers and sisters, no matter what race. Unfortunately, we live in a country where our lives are not valued. We live in a country where black women, because, this country is sexist and it's racist. Let's face facts. It's sexist and it's racist. So, this is a country where no value, absolute zero value is placed on black women's lives. And I'm going to be doing more videos and I'm going to be advocating more for my sisters. Because I feel like as a content creator, I have that responsibility to do that. And I encourage other black female content creators to do the same. Because I'm just over all this I'm just over all this hatred towards black women. Black women are we're the most disrespected people. No, I can't think of any other women that are consistently bashed on social media. And, black men make a lot of excuses, saying that black women came on talk shows back in the day and they bash black men. If you can give me an accurate number of how many talk shows that was, I tried to do the research. Oprah Winfrey her show was on for over 20 years. So she done many seasons of her show. I forget how many seasons it was, but it's a lot. And out of all the seasons that she's done on her show, I don't think there's very many of her shows where black women were bashing black men, as they say, as well as some of the other talk shows. But that's the excuse that they make. But black women are being consistently bashed on social media every single day. Every single day, black women are consistently being bashed on social media. Now there's hate speech directed towards black women on social media every day ever since I've been on YouTube. And I'm sure it was going on before I got on YouTube. And I've been on YouTube for 10 going on 11 years, about 11 years. I've been on YouTube for like 11 years. And I'm sure this was going on before I came on YouTube. So the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. Them little bit of talk shows that women might have said, black women might have said, were they bashing or were they speaking the truth? That's nothing compared to every single day. People are coming on YouTube. Black men are coming on YouTube and consistently social media and consistently bashing black women day in and day out. It's not a day that goes by that some black man does not come on here and are saying negative things about black women. And now there's hate speech being directed towards black women on social media, which these social media platforms need to shut it down. It was a brother on TikTok that came forth. It was a man, I guess he came on TikTok. He called himself a minister. That came on TikTok and was talking about unaliving black women. And this black man did go up to bat on TikTok. It was a couple brothers that came on and they went up to bat, and they really, and I really appreciate them for that, to get this guy shut down. See, people shouldn't have to do that. That social media, if it's YouTube's or TikTok's or Instagram's policy to not have hate speech, that's supposed to be part of YouTube and all that, their policy. But it's interesting, when it comes to black women, they do nothing about it. You can't come on here directing hate speech towards Jews or LGBT or even white people. There's certain groups that you cannot come on social media and have hate speech towards, or they will shut you down. But it's really interesting how they allow people to come on social media and talk about unaliving black women, because they say that's the code word you should use for. And people have to come in and flag this person to get them shut down when that social media platform was supposed to do it off rip. Nobody should have to come in and flag this person and get this person taken down. That social media platform, where TikTok or wherever they did it at, YouTube is supposed to automatically come in and say, no, this is hate speech. Come in. Because if you come in talking about that doggone jab, or if you say anything about Jews, LGBT, or white people, if you have any kind of hate speech towards those groups, YouTube is going to shut you down. They are not going to tolerate it. But it's interesting how they let it go. They let it ride with black women. And this is an issue. And that's what I'm saying. Our lives have no value. Nobody cares about what happens to black women. And our lives don't have value. And I'm going to be using my platform to advocate more for black women. And I don't care if you have an issue with it, unsubscribe or don't listen to the video or whatever situation. I don't really care. But if you black men got a problem with it, oh well. If you hate black women, you hate black women. You take that up with God. But I'm going to advocate for my sisters on here. I'm a sister. I have sisters in my family. I don't know how many sisters that I know personally. I love my sisters all over the world, particularly here in the United States. Because, like I said, this man called himself a minister talking about unaliving black women. First of all, he's not a minister, because a man of God doesn't speak that way. If you are a man of God, you're not going to be advocating for people to be murdered or unalived. Unalived. You're not going to be advocating for that. If you're supposed to be a man of God, you're not. That's the last thing. That shouldn't even be on your radar. It's us unaliving people. So this man is not a minister. He's not a minister of God, because if you're a true man of God, then you're not going to be talking about unaliving people. But that's the hatred that these people have towards black women. That these men, a lot of these men, and I urge more black men. I appreciate these brothers on TikTok for getting that shut down. But and there are some, and I will give credit where credit is due. There are some black men that are coming forth and they're cracking down on it. It's this one YouTuber by the name of Angry Biracial. He's on TikTok and YouTube, and he calls himself Angry Biracial, and he's married to a black woman, and he advocates for black women. So there are some, and they're not trying to disparage him and everything, but because they claim that he said something. The bottom line is that he's advocating for he's speaking up for black women. Bottom line, he's using his platform to advocate and speak up for black women. And I give credit where credit is due. There are black men that are doing that. Unfortunately, we don't have enough. We don't have enough black men that are coming on social media and speaking out towards hatred, hate speech, hatred, and anybody that promotes violence against black women, hate speech towards black women, because like I said, it's fueling this black femicide. It's fueling it. It's fueling it. It's perpetuating it. So we need to be more active in shutting these people down, getting these people shut down. And I'm going to be using my platform to advocate for my sisters more, to speak out more against black femicide. There's so many of them. There's so many cases that, like I said, I would have to dedicate a whole channel to. That's how many cases it is. I can't keep up with them all. Now, there are some YouTubers on here that they have their whole platform is they talk about the different black femicide cases, because a lot of these cases don't make nationwide news. And if we don't get it out there, then it's going to go under way. A lot of these cases go under the radar. But some of them, very few of them make nationwide news. They may make the local news. Some of them don't even make the local news. They may make the local news, but they're not going to make, 9 times out of 10, not going to make nationwide news, because they don't consider whatever happens to black women newsworthy. And I'm getting tired of people saying, oh, well, everything is all right. Everything is equal. Ain't no more racism. No, everything is all right. It's not. Everything is not all right. The playing field is not level. This is still a very racist country, where people say, well, all lives matter. It's a deflection, is what it is. If all lives matter, then why aren't black women's murders being put on nationwide news like they would white female murders? If all lives are supposed to matter, why black femicide rate? Why isn't 2020 CNN? Some of these major news outlets doing reports, doing documentaries and reports on it. If all lives really mattered, like they say it does. So when it really comes down to it, they really don't believe that. They're deflecting, and they really don't believe that all lives matter. And unfortunately, black lives don't matter. On the flip side, black lives don't matter to black people, because statistically more black women are being killed by black men. So that's the flip side. If they figure we're not showing no respect for our own people's lives, then why should they? So I'm going to advocate for black children as well. So if you're going to see more videos of me talking about different things regarding black women, black women's rights, you're going to see me doing more videos advocating more for black women, advocating for my sisters. That's what I'm going to do. So if you got an issue with it, oh, well, I really don't care. I really don't care. because I feel like as a content creator, I have that responsibility. Because I'm a black woman myself. I got black women in my family that I love dearly. I love all my sisters. I love all my sisters. And I care about what happens to my sisters. And I'm just getting tired of the double standard. I'm getting sick of the double standard. We have rights just like everybody else. We pay our taxes? Don't black women we pay our taxes? The IRS was barking up my tree 3 years ago about a little funky $300. Don't we pay our taxes? Black women, don't we pay our taxes? It's mighty funny, we equal when it comes to them taxes. Aren't we equal when it comes to the taxes? When it comes to paying them taxes, boy, we equal. The playing field is level when it comes to paying them. The IRS want that money. Okay. See, we equal when it comes to that. But then when it comes to our lives and other things, we're not equal. We don't deserve when black women go to have a baby, the infant mortality rate and everything, and it's real high and everything. When black women go to have babies, the death and complication rate is through the roof compared to other races of women. So there's racism in our healthcare system. They're discriminating against us in the healthcare system. But when it comes to them taxes, boy, the playing field is level. Ain't it level when it comes to the taxes? It's equal when it comes to paying them taxes. Because they want us to pay the taxes just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But we don't get no equal rights. We don't get the same respect. We have the right to be protected just like any other race of women do. And we don't have that. We're not under that same protection. And that's something that needs to change. More black people need to be advocating more of our people. Well, we're not unified. That's the problem. There's no unity amongst us. But more content creators need to start coming forth. I love to see more black men, because you got black female content creators on here that you got black female content creators that bash black women because they're siding with the manosphere. They think making money is more important than the protection of black women, unfortunately. But those numbers are really small in comparison to the black men that consistently come on here, constantly and consistently bashing black women day in and day out. And it's starting to go into hate speech. YouTube should be shutting them down. If a black man does a video bashing a black woman, and you got black men in that comment section that are talking about unaliving black women and committing violent acts towards black women, they need to be shut down. And that content creator has a responsibility. They need to hold that content creator responsible too. But YouTube is supposed to be getting in there, shutting them comments down. But they don't do it. Let you come on here talking that stuff about white folk. Let you come on here talking that. You want to know why Cynthia G changed her platform? You want to know why? She will not admit it. She won't admit it. But do you know why Cynthia G turned the corner and started talking about black men? She used to talk about white supremacy all the time. If you remember, if you dial back to her content back in the day. Now, I like Cynthia G, I think Cynthia G speaks the truth on a lot of things, but she does go into bashing. I don't condone it either way, for the record. because black men like to come on my videos where I'm talking about black women, and they like to say, well, what about black men? Black women bashing black men. I've done videos on here speaking out against that too. How many videos have I done addressing black people? And I mentioned black people bashing black people. I've done a lot of them. Okay. I don't condone black women bashing black men, but the problem with black women being bashed is that it's causing black women to be unalived. It's promoting violence, and black women are being unalived in large numbers because of it. Black women are not going around unaliving black men in large numbers. I'd like to see the stats on that because of it. And there's way more black men on here bashing black women than there is black women bashing black men. Are black women defending themselves, or are they, because it's okay for black men to come on here constantly bash black women, but black women are supposed to sit around and not say nothing? We're supposed to sit around and just take it and not say anything and not retort back and not speak out against it. I don't have the right to speak out against it. I don't have no right to call y'all out on what y'all doing. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. You can't constantly keep coming on here bashing us and expect us not to retort back. But anyway, I got off. Cynthia G, what I was trying to say is Cynthia G turned the corner because who runs YouTube? White people run YouTube. They were going to shut her down. She's done some great content regarding white supremacy. She does some great content on it. Great content on white supremacy. But it was going into the bashing. It was starting to go into bashing. And the white folks was going to shut her down. Google was going to shut her down. They was going to shut her down. Because white folks, one thing about white folks, they is not going to tolerate you coming on here. Google is ran by white people. They're not going to tolerate you coming on here bashing and hate speech against them. They ain't going to tolerate that. They ain't going to put up with that. It's a no-brainer. They not gonna tolerate it. They not gonna put up with it. And that's why she turned the corner and then redirected her content to black men. And the only problem is that it goes into bashing and generalization. She has a tendency to generalize and stereotype black men. She never talks about the positive black men that are doing positive things and good things. She's always focusing on the negative. And she said, well, her argument is that it's the majority. There is a large percentage of black men that are out here that are on some crazy stuff. Yes, I will agree there. But then she speaks, a lot of what she says is true, but it goes into bashing, and she's constantly in generalizing and stereotyping. And that's the problem that the black men are having, the black manosphere is having with her. And I know she's passionate about black women. I think she has the same passion that I do about the protection of black women and advocating for black women and all that. But then sometimes she bashes black women too. She calls black women black male worshipers. I'm going to tell it like it is on here. She calls black women black male worshipers. And if you love any black man, including your sons, then you're a black male worshiper. I don't agree with that. We're supposed to love black men. Okay, are we supposed to hate black men? So it's like she does kind of promote hatred towards black men. No, I'm not going to hate black men. So if you have any type of love for black men, she calls you a mammy or a black male worshiper. Okay, you're bashing black women. It goes, I don't like those terms. I don't like mammy. I don't like black male worship. I don't like it. Okay. So that's why she turned the corner. I know she's passionate about black women being protected and all this kind of stuff. And I do believe that she does have that passion. And she wants to she's passionate about what the things that are going on in the black community regarding black men. I'm passionate about that too, but I just go about it in a different way. But that's why she turned the corner. Because the white people was going to shut it down. She will never admit to that, though. White folks ain't going to put up with you coming on here. Hate speech. That's or what they made. She was talking about white supremacy, but it was, they probably thought it was going into hate speech. Because white folks don't like to hear the truth. Malcolm X got shut down because he spoke the truth. Martin Luther King, well, he advocated for all of us to come together. He stood up for anybody that's ever stood up for black people and spoke the truth. They got eliminated throughout history. Historically, they got rid of them. So they don't like it when anytime there's times I've did videos, I spoke the truth about white supremacy or whatever the situation was, and I had white people coming in my comment section, you're racist. They don't like to hear the truth. I've been in a workplace where I try to educate white people on racism. Are you a racist? They hate that. It's like beating your head up against you can't educate the don't want to be educated. Unless you're talking to a woke white person and they are in the minority. They do not want to be educated on racism. They like to walk around in denial and pretend like everything is all right and the playing field is level and there's no racism and there's no white privilege. They like that. They like that, to stay in that mind frame. They don't want us to speak out. But we're not going to suffer in silence. We're not going to suffer in silence. And that's something they don't realize. We're not going to suffer in silence. So it's a deflection. They will, anytime any black person tries to speak the truth, there's time where Elder Baba, sorry if this video's long, Elder Baba Rashawn, when he tries to speak the truth about racism and stuff and white supremacy, they've tried to shut him down. I think they actually did succeed in shutting one of his channels down, and he came back, he had to come back with another channel. Because he speaks the truth about white supremacy and stuff. So they do not like black people to really speak out. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm just very strategic in how I go about it on my channel. And I switch up my content. See, I switch up my content. I don't focus on any one thing. I rotate my content. I switch up my content, and I'm very strategic in how I talk about it. And that's how black people have to move on YouTube, because YouTube is ran by white people. If you keep that in your mind, that is ran by white folk. And so you have to be strategic in how you, yes, we got to talk about these things. We got to talk about it. Because it's the truth. And we, like I said, we're not going to suffer in silence. And we need to educate our people as well as white people. Even though a lot of them don't want to be educated. But you have to be very, as a black content creator, you have to be very strategic in how you do it. It's not always what you do, it's how you do it that makes a difference. You have to be very strategic in how you do it. Because if you constantly coming on here, and that's why Cynthia G turned that corner. The white folk were going to shut her down. Yep. But I think that I think it had she she could have talked about the issues in the black community and still talked about white supremacy. She just should have been, she needed to be more strategic in doing that. She could have still been doing both, but she should have been more strategic in how she did it. So they don't have a problem with us. We can talk hate speech amongst each other all the time, all day long, and never had no problem with it. See, the white people are cited when I do videos addressing black people on my channel. You don't hear a peep out of them white folks. But let you come on here talking about racism, white supremacy, or whatever the situation is. Hey, you're racist. They're very vocal about that. But I come on here addressing black people and the things that's going on in the black community, they're quiet as a mouse. They're quiet as a mouse. You don't hear nothing from them in the comment section. They don't have no problem with it. They don't never have no problem with us addressing each other. And like an individual white person, it's if it don't apply, let it fly. If you ain't racist, then okay, it don't apply to you. But it does apply to other people in your race. It does apply to the system, because the system, we dealing with systematic racism. Whether you want to admit that or not, that's what we dealing with. I'm sorry if this video is long, but yes, I'm going to advocate for my sisters on here. So you see me doing more content, going in that direction. I'm going to make it a point to advocate for my sisters, because that is my responsibility as a content creator, and I'm a sister myself. And I love all my sisters, and I want my sisters to be safe. I want my sisters to be safe. I want my sisters to have equal rights and all that. And it's not that I don't love the brothers, because I love the brothers too. But I want brothers to do right by black women. If you hate black women, move on to another race of women. Stop coming on YouTube and spewing out hatred towards black women. Just move on to another race of women. Just move on. Just move on and live your life. Don't come on here day in and day out spewing hatred towards black women, and then when the black women come back and retort, you got a problem with it. Just like I said with the white people. Are we supposed to suffer in silence? Black women are not going to suffer in silence. We're not going to suffer in silence. We're going to call you out on it. We is going to call y'all out on y'all stuff. We're going to call y'all out on it. As we should. As we should. Do I condone bashing? Absolutely not. But we're going to call you out. And we have every right to defend ourselves and stand up for ourselves. And knowing that it's not the collective of black women that, remember, we outnumber y'all. So it's not the collective of us that are doing certain things. There is a small percentage. There is a small percentage. Most black women are good people. And white men are starting to see that too. White men are starting to see that too, which that's going to be another video topic. White men are gravitating more towards black women because they're starting to see good things, positive things in black women that black men will not see. So that's another video, so stay tuned for that. But hit me up in the comment section, let me know if you're a sister, a black woman, and you stand in solidarity with me. If you're a content creator, let's do a collab. I'm down. I'm down for a collab. If you're a content creator, let's do a collab and let's talk about these issues. If you're a sister and you stand in solidarity with me, advocating for black women's right to be protected. Stop hate speech towards black women, the constant bashing against black women, and everything, in black women's rights and all that, and black children's rights. You stand in solidarity with me. Hit me up in that comment section. If you're a content creator, you're a black female content creator, I don't care how many subscribers you have, you want to do a collab with me, we can do a collab. And we can talk about these issues together. It's because we need to get more of this out. But we're going to do it in a positive way. We're not going to do it bashing or nothing like that. We're going to do it in a positive way. Because we gotta start, we gotta start fighting, sisters. We gotta start fighting. We gotta start fighting. And we're gonna have to, our sisterhood is gonna have to get stronger. Because we got a lot going against us. We got society, general society against us, and we got black men. A lot of black men are against us. And then if you a black man and you agreeing with me and you stand in solidarity with me, you can jump on board too. Because I know that there are some black men that are advocating for black women. And I love you and I thank you for that. But we just need more black men to do that. That's the problem. We don't have enough. Okay, hit me up in that comment section. Let me know with your, all that. And until the next video, be blessed.